I do know this: if we end up in the championship match, we're going for gold, not silver. That's for sure.
Coach, this is Terry Middleton from Horns Illustrated. Congratulations to both of you. Coach, the last time that we got to talk with you, you talked about, you called it your secret sauce, right? So clearly it's working. This was fantastic to watch. And my question is, how do you keep the team and the players at such a high level? How is it going back to that secret sauce? Is it, as a team, what do you do that just keeps them operating and performing at such a peak level?
So that is an excellent question, and if I had the answer, I'd probably be a better coach. But I think two things sort of come to mind. The first thing is that just the habits in practice, and having done, I think we've played 20, 28 or 29, maybe 30 dual matches. Those habits have a way of self-repeating, and so in a sense, here at the NCAA tournament, the players, even my spiel is a little bit on autopilot, and everyone is somewhat accustomed and used to what needs to happen in practices and so forth. And then, to the sort of the guts of your question, I think our students, athletes rather, both understand that to perform, you're just not, no one's interested in what is behind you, the 30-odd matches. No one's interested in what might be in 2 matches' time. All that really matters is when we go practice here in a couple of hours, what part of each player is truly present. And as a coach, if I see that a player doesn't have, for lack of a better way, their winner self and their killer self present, then it's on me to sort of do that counseling and fundamentally really on the player to understand it's okay that the best part of me isn't present, but let's stash that person away and let's bring the real winner to the game right now, because the only thing that really matters is how our team will perform on the court against Florida State moment by moment.
What part of your coaching really, it's psychological, it's, you're getting into the minds of players and teams. How have you, your studies, how has that carried you to today? And do you still study that? Do you still study the science behind all that?
So I think, yeah, as your question would suggest, my sensibility over the years, I've got an older brother who's a clinical psychologist, he's a PhD. And of course, I got my degree from USC in Los Angeles. It was a psychology major, but I think if I've got to be honest, late in my career, in the last 2 or 3 years, I've sort of managed to retool myself. And I think I've always been someone that's worked very hard on the court, a lot of private lessons, a lot of sweaty t-shirts in practice. But the thing that we have a performance coach that works with our ladies, and he really changed the way that I sort of view things in that he came and spoke to our ladies just conceptually about how performance works. And I think the lament of so many frustrated coaches in all sports is, I told him to be positive. I told her, don't worry about it, and so on. And the conception he explained was that in psychology over the years, we've always thought that whatever the malady is, we'd sit down with a therapist, we'd talk it through, it would go into the brain, and we would, alter our behavior, right? We'd stop smoking, we'd stop drinking, we'd stop yelling at our wives, and so on and so forth. And in recent years, that's changed to suggest the following, that there's 2 different systems working with all of us. One is sort of the brain, and the other is our bodies. And the way he described it to our ladies is that this part is the rider and this part is the horse. And so how many parents frustrated coaches have said, I just told her, there's no pressure, relax, go enjoy yourself. And the rider knows it, but the horse is yelping and screaming and so forth. And a lot of the work he's done, with our players and helped me understand is for our players to listen a little bit, as an aside, during the COVID break, and I'm fully aware that COVID is still in play, but I took up hitting a lot of golf balls. There was nothing else to do. And one of the things that I came to realize as a coach, I'm very obsessive. I'd hit 1,000 balls and another 1,000 balls and think about the techniques. And in a funny way, my best shots are when the rider just wasn't at play and the body is just sort of synced up, when I'm really just not thinking about it. And so I think a lot of what we've done with the players is getting them in tune with what their body is feeling and what their body is telling them. And I think that's perhaps where a lot of the tennis is played, because again, these media days and so forth are a lot about talking and prognosticating, but really what happens at the end of the day is on the tennis court, it's gritty, it's guttural, it's what the players are really feeling. It ain't an exact science, but we're certainly doing our best to have our players in tune with what their bodies are feeling to try to perform their best.
That's fantastic. Would you mind sharing who that coach is?
His name is Chris Dorado, and I know that Chris is, within our industry, I don't talk just women's tennis or men's tennis. There's a lot of big names that write books and so forth, and I'm sure they're very excellent. But the stuff that Chris has done with our players is very, very powerful stuff. We do have a very young team. On 2 days ago, we started 5 of our 6 players were freshmen. I foresee his work, once it's fully integrated with our group, making for a very, very powerful program going forward.
Texas Longhorn fans, thanks for watching. As a bonus, we have several shots of athletes from courtside. We hope you enjoy. Subscribe to our channel, visit hornsillustrated.com, or see us on Twitter. Hook 'em horns.
I do know this, if we end up in the championship match, we're going for gold, not silver, that's for sure.